The regulator came out pretty easy once I got power to it back there, which I've just got to get a switch and we should have power to roll up and down the window. The only thing we are missing, as I pointed out before, is these studs. This one's actually boogered up, so we're going to cut it out, but not before we get a measurement where that slot is. And then we're going to weld in some bolts that are the right size. We're going to make a slot, and then we're going to put it back in. The only problem that we have is I shut the door and the gap was a little bit, the strikers were a little bit high over here. It's actually wedged shut. I can't open the door currently. It's not a big deal. I'm sure we'll eventually pop it open, but I didn't want to spend too much time on it. So I was able to take the regulator, since the door is off. I was able to actually sneak the the regulator out that way. So lucky for me, that worked out. So we can at least get that progress done while we're just kind of monkeying around with this door. At least I can get the window to go up and down. There is a safety mechanism that has to be hit with the window all the way down for the door to open. I'm sure that's not helping because I have to press that, jiggle the handle, and then try to take the weight off this corner. So we'll deal with that another day, but we're gonna at least get started on these studs. Probably tonight, but we probably won't finish tonight, unfortunately. Just too much going on, but I wish that thing was in better shape, but that's okay. Well, we were able to salvage this one a little bit. It was kind of rounded out. We were able to actually straighten it out, so it'll actually roll now and the pin holds. So now we're gonna drill this side out. In my bolt bin, I found that, which is what I'll need, paired with this. So I'm gonna show you. So that should give me what I need. I won't need those threads. I can cut that off and I can cut the head off, and we're gonna drill this hole out to the same dimension, and then we're gonna weld it in. That's the only way to do this. I can't find anybody that has reproduced these studs. So sometimes you just got to make what you need, and that's what we're doing. All right, just like that, both studs are fixed. We got free motion on both of them. No worries, no clip coming loose. Same thing with this one. We'll see if they hold up long term to the window going up and down and the wear and tear, but we're probably going to grease a little bit of this area before we put it back. But we're going to stop tonight because it is late, and work's going to come early tomorrow. So we will probably put this in on Sunday. That's when I'll get more time, and we'll bolt it in, hopefully get the window in, and hopefully that's done. We are back. It is hot. Sunday I did not get any work done on the wagon. It was just real hot in my shop, even fans and stuff. I was just dying. So I plan to try to get some done this week. I think it's actually hotter this week, according to the Weather Channel. One thing we did get done Sunday on the wagon is the seat, the front seat that I originally had just wrapped in a Mexican blanket. I'll call it Mexican blanket. If y'all wanted to call it something else, y'all do that. But just the cheap little, throw blankets. I had wrapped that to get me through power tour, so the foam wasn't sticking in my backside the entire time. I dropped that off at a new upholstery guy. A friend of mine gave me his contact, and he's just around the corner from my house. So he was available Sunday, so I dropped that off. He gave me a good price, and the only expectation I have is I took some of the material that I had, the foam insert, or not the foam insert, the door panel inserts. I asked if we can incorporate that some, and he said that he would put it in the middle and keep sort of the similar vibe of the factory material. So I'm curious to see what he comes up with, and I'm sure I'll like it regardless. But I told him I would get him 2 yards of that, which is what he asked for to complete that project. So I'm going to grab that real quick on my lunch break today. Between work, I'm going to grab that and then drop that off this afternoon. He's about 2 weeks out, I think, so from it being done, probably, from what he said. So I will give him time, and then I will show y'all the finished product when it comes in. Otherwise, we will be working on that rear window glass, and then pinning the screen and finalizing kind of the project. We're getting toward the end. It's just all nitpicky stuff that takes a long time. So y'all bear with me. I promise we're getting real close. Back trying to get some work done on the wagon. We have the regulator that's been rebuilt back in. There's just one problem. I still can't get the door back open. I shut it hard once, and I think this there's two catches. There's one up here, one down here, because it's a magic tailgate. The problem is if it defaults or has an issue, it just locks itself down. So there's a cantilever down here that you're supposed to be able to push, and then you're supposed to be able to get open. That's not working. So I've messed with it for a little while now. I'm gonna probably wait till one of my friends is helping me so I can try to jar it while he does it. I think it's just hung. And if that's the case, I can fix that pretty quick and easy, I think. And then all that'll be left is to slide the glass down in the regulator and then make sure that functions up and down. I know it's functioning currently, but I'm not using the switch yet. I don't have that wired up. So we're getting there. I also thought I had plenty of windshield wipers, arms that is. I have one that'll work for this car. So I gotta get another one, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely. And we do have a working windshield wiper now too. So if I didn't tell you that earlier. So we're getting there, one piece at a time. When I say we are getting there, we are getting there. I got to tell the inputs what this stuff is that I plugged into it. This is just the basic outline. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do with the gauges yet. I may try to mimic the stock stuff, and I may not, but we got radio and that working. And like I said, if I don't key on, you won't see any of that. But as you can see, nice and tidy, tucked back there, so can't really see it from the side or either other side either. So it'll just be, you know, my information that I need. And then we also have started doing the sound deadening / insulation. I'm doing it more for insulation than sound. We have cleaned up over here. We're going to fill in, once I get this wiring finished, tucked up and out of the way, we're going to weld that floor up where the speedo cable went through. And then we're going to fix a little spot over here. We're going to fix that, and then we'll rip this pan out back here. We got a few little holes back over here we're going to fix. And then this floor will fully get covered. And then we're going to order some carpet to put this back to kind of factory. We have the A-pillars in, the dash is in, probably for its final time. I've got to figure out how these clips operate. There's a piece that goes across there, and then I've got to figure out the dash. The piece is boogered up, so I've got to either fix that. I was in a rush, put the steering wheel on, and I put the horn piece in backwards. So the horn's stuck on. That's my fault. So I'm going to take this apart, drop it down, and then we're going to get all this painted and cleaned up. And then the dash should be done. The seat is still at the upholsterer, so that's exciting. That should be done soon. I can't wait for y'all to see it. It'll have a little of that incorporated into it, but not much. And then we'll get the rest of these paneling done. Then probably get this rear seat over to them and let them do the same and just go ahead and finish it up. Probably these as well. I hadn't even attempted to clean these up. They probably will actually clean up, save me a little bit of coin. But eventually we'll have to do this headliner, and that's not going to be an easy process. But yeah, so gauges are live. We have power. I've got to double check and make sure that when I went to the small screen to this one, that I didn't miss anything as far as wiring goes. So far we've got power, and I should have inputs. I'm going to figure that out here in a minute. Probably just hook the battery charger to it and play with it. But y'all can join me here shortly for more. Just because we're working on the Willis don't mean we're not working on the 68. We just got a lot of wiring to finish up. And we pinned the screen and got power. I got to run back through and make sure I hook everything up for the EFI stuff to work. And we should be ready to hopefully get it afire again, and then tidy all this wiring up and finish it up. And primarily what we have worked on today, I know y'all think I've switched gears to the Willis wagon, but it's just temporary stuff here and there. But we have sealed this front floor, and then we have went ahead and this is essentially Dynamat, or a version of it. It's called Siles, S-I-L-E-S-S, and this is what I've been using. It's gone up a little bit, but it's still pretty reasonably priced. The dash is in, as y'all saw earlier, and the gauge cluster is pinned. I've just got to go through the functions and make sure everything's hooked up. for the sniper system to work properly and be able to pin the gauges up there. So that's going to be another day because I'm out of time today. But we got the front half of the floor pretty much dialed in where we want it. The seat holes already back open. Hopefully the seat comes back from upholstery sometime this week or next. I'd love to fix this floor over here, get that finished up, and at least get the seat back in. And then we got to order some patch metal for that there. There's a few pinholes over here we're going to fix without a patch metal plate. I'll probably just take some regular stuff. We may look at that over there. I may have enough metal that's flat to do it. And then that is pretty much where we're at. We did get rid of the defrosting box that takes fresh air from over here. The fresh air duct is pretty much sealed shut from being rusty. The hinge is just rusty. We're going to leave those sealed shut on both sides. That way I don't have to worry about air coming in from over there and all that. Eventually we'll get AC added, but for now the wing windows will do us right. We need to still put this lower dash on, but we're going to paint this first as mentioned before, and we're just going to keep trucking. A little bit more progress on the floors. I've got to order a floor pan over there because it's completely toast. We were able to patch it with some metal we had over here. Just got to grind those welds down and tack a few more spots. It was getting a little too hot in there, so I just backed off. The whole front floorboard is pretty much ready to go. Over there, I've got to fix a few things, and it's also ready to go. All right, try not to glare this because there is a glare if I move my camera too much. So we've got this dash sort of coming alive. We have left turns, right turns, and then we have high beams. The rest should start working. Obviously we have fuel gauge. I believe that's working. I can't remember how much fuel I put in it. Voltage, we have that working because I need to connect it to the charger. And then I won't know about oil pressure or temp gauge until we go to crank it, which is hopefully soon. But this is kind of the layout. So odometer's over here. Trip meters are on the right hand side, and then we have a couple of dummy lights in case something goes wrong. I just don't look at the gauge. But yeah, this is Holley EFI 12.3 screen, and we tried to mimic the gauge best we could. Just in case, help me out with this gauge cluster. It looks super awesome. I think he originally did it for a 59 Caddy, but I saw it and I asked if we could modify it, and this is what we came up with. So we have that there, and then the radio's over there. I don't know when I'm going to be adding speakers, but that's probably on down the line. But this is what we have for right now. That could have been really freaking bad. So I looked up from welding the last little seam in the floor and started coughing. Realized the bottom of the lower seat had caught fire, and it actually had worked its way up in the top of the seat. I needed to pull this out anyway to get it over to the interior guy because my front seat's going to be ready next week. I didn't mean to do it at an accelerated, very fast pace because I don't have water down here. So that may be something I have to keep on hand just to drown out a fire. But I should have pulled the seat first. Wasn't thinking, but it's still smoldering. But we were able to cut out where it caught fire, that corner, and then that corner over there, this corner over here. Not a big deal. We're going to get that seat redone anyway. But that could have definitely been pretty bad. So guess I got lucky. All right, after almost catching the car on fire, I had to stay up and make sure the fire was out. So I was able to get the rest of this side of the floor done. The patches are done, they're sealed up on this side. And then I got my heat and sound deadening in. And then because the seat caught fire, I was getting this seat out a little faster, and it actually looks pretty good up there. So we got to put that patch in over there. I'm waiting on that to come in. We got to fix the hole up front where the speedo cable goes in, and then that side should be done. The seat should be in next week, and then we're going to take, now that I had to get that one out, probably going to take that and drop it off so he can get that done as well. But we are slowly getting there. Hopefully it's ready to fire probably next week. That's going to be it for tonight. It's late.